use this method. So text dot caret 0. Okay, so I just got confused with the method name. Okay, just see here. Anyhow, I'll be using auto IT and then I'll be directly using Selenium concept to bypass this particular part. Mostly I'll be using auto IT exe. So robot framework is not that much stable. Stable in the sense it runs in front of your screen. It's not like an exe. Directly we need to write in this program. It's directly coming from Java coding. So you can see over here. If you want to directly pass some key in robot framework like enter key, tab, all these things, you can directly use key one dot direct keys you can mention. If you want to type hello, I can do something like this vk underscore h, and after this I can give one more virtual keyboard, but it's not going to be efficient if you want to type something like okay, so suppose you want to type hello or some few characters, it will not be efficient in that case. Okay, so you similarly you can press enter vk virtual key enter, all those you can directly mention. These are all robot class frameworks. So in this we have a method. Okay, this you make a note of it. This method you make a note of it. So this method will helps you in converting a character into a ASCII key code. That key code will be used over here. Int. I shown you yesterday, no, there was a key code, ASCII key code. So 63 was pointing to lowercase a, uppercase a, right? So that concept will be, we have to pass, actually I have to pass 65, key press of 65 for pressing a. To convert that character into ASCII key code, we have a method get extended key code for character. So this is going to be a character 0. Okay, I'll be writing a simple for loop for doing this, which I already written. So this for loop will take care of remaining process. So inside this for loop, I can paste this particular set of code. Okay, in the instead of char at 0, I can mention I. So if I run this program will type whatever is in front of you. My cursor pointer line number 44. It will start typing in line number 44. It will stop typing HE enter and then it will type hello. Directly it will do here HE then enter and hello. Okay, so be careful on this particular while running it. It should be present on your screen. Okay, why L is not coming? Just make a note of this particular method. Similarly, mouse or activity, keyboard activity you can do based on the location. See, something like this always there will be a problem in this particular robot class. That's why we always use auto IT. Okay, most of the time I will be using auto IT. Okay, this is rarely used. In case if you don't have an access to run the exe file, you will be using this particular code. So before typing everything, just give one delay. It should be fixed a delay for 1 second. Since it's happening quickly, it happens very quickly. So before and after doing the operation, you give a delay. Before doing the operation, you have to wait until your pop-up comes where you want to type. Okay, then you do this. Okay, so you can give 1 second or you can give a delay for 500 milliseconds. 500 should be fine. Okay, so now it will type everything. So these things you have to take care. And remember, is it clear for you how to use a robot class? This is directly coming. So whatever is in front of you, in front of the screen, directly it will type. For example, let me load this. Run this code and then okay, so we have to give a delay properly. Okay, let me put the string over here. So we'll wait for the page load. So let me give, so the always it will wait for the page load. I'll just give a 2-second delay after the page load. Then I will want to type. So after running this, your cursor will be there on some part, right? There it will start typing hello. If you move the cursor to the address bar, it will start typing the hello in the address bar. Okay. So using the robot class, it is typing right now. So once the hello is done, our next step is you can create a method for this. One method which accept a string and it will type. So you can create a method for this, and I'll press tab. In order to press tab, as I told you, or b dot e press and then key event. Remember the key event comes from AWT, java.awt. Okay. So key event java.awt dot tab. So vk underscore tab you try. Now after pressing the tab, I just want to give some delay. You can try without delay. Mostly you need at least 500 millisecond delay in between this operation. So once I press tab, I want to type once again I'll type the same thing. For the password also, I'll type the same thing. Once the password is done, I will to press enter. So let me give one delay after this, and to I press enter or b dot. This you try. Mostly it will work, and if you design it properly, it will work. If it is working, no need to go with auto it. Okay, if it is also not working, then go with auto it. Clear for you? Enter. So now it will load the page, but for sure after loading the page, it will come to this part. Sometime it will hang over here itself. At that time, auto AT is the only solution, because you will trigger the auto AT here. Okay, you should not disturb your mouse while running this. This is a robot class which work on any screen. In front of you, whatever the screen is available, directly it will type. It will just pass the keyboard activities. Okay, press enter. If it is a valid credential, it will move forward. It's clear for you? Try this quickly, auto IT. If you want to try, you can try it quickly. Next, we'll see how to upload using auto IT. Try this robot class quickly, or make a note of the code. That's enough. Yeah. So listen, we'll try with the Chrome. Chrome also you can try. So try it in Chrome browser also. Okay. See here, this doesn't need any exe to be triggered. Okay. Now don't want to run anything directly. You need to run this code. So you create a method which accept a string and put that into the method. So this will take care of all the operation. Let me run this code. Just listen here. It will launch the browser. Once it launches the browser, if there is a pop-up or if there is a text box, it will directly type inside the text box. Okay, this is from the robot class. Tab and then this and then enter. It will try to go with this URL. The three options we have for doing the Windows authentication. One is directly you can mention in the URL using Selenium. Directly you can mention in the URL here. Okay, so that is the best option. If that is also not working, then go with the robot class. Robot class is also not working, then you try with auto IT. That will be the step. Okay, clear with this?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, is it working for you, robot class? Is it able to identify the robot class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it entered in the pop-up.
Fine. No. Okay, for working with auto IT, we'll start inspecting things in auto IT. In this case, you have to give username directly if you want to load, code password, then colon, username colon password. Yeah. So in order to work with the auto IT, let's go with the auto IT script. Open your script and you can create a new script. Okay, so let me explain with the new script itself. You will write a new script, file new script you do. So after doing file new script, I'll show you the code. Okay, first of all, you will be opening the browser, upload using auto IT. Okay, with that, they will come to know how to inspect things also. Let me create a new package, new class, upload using auto IT. And with the main method, let me go with main method. So inside this, let me create a, one second, let me, so you can also create this, create a class with main method. You have any upload screen, you use any upload screen automation. I'm going to run my local upload feature. Okay, I'll just get that HTML. Upload using Selenium. Upload using auto IT. For authentication, as I told you, three ways are there. One is directly passing to the username. While passing to the username, user colon password. I'll give you this syntax, user double colon, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can update you. Username colon colon password and at the rate that particular URL. That is one option. The second option is using robot framework. Third option is using auto IT. Auto IT script we already run. That was working fine. Robot framework you try. Robot class actually, it's not framework. Sorry. Robot class coming from Java. Upload we have two options. One is directly using Selenium. So directly using Selenium in the sense using send keys, I can give the path, absolute path. To get the absolute path from the relative, you can use this concept. Okay. After getting the absolute path, you can upload. The next option is send keys will not work. First, you try to click on it. Listen here. I'm going to load the page. After loading this URL, so this is my local page. Listen. After that, you can do it. Once I load this URL, I'll be getting a page like this. Here there will be a upload option, something like this. Here first I want to click on it. Once I click on it, it will give you this pop-up. In this pop-up, we'll try to send the file which we want to load over here. After sending the file, I will click on open. Okay, so we have to focus this particular part, then we have to focus this particular part, and we have to send the text over here, the file which you want to upload, either by choosing it or by sending the file detail properly and then clicking on open. That is the detail. Okay, that's what we are planning to do now. First, I need to click on this. What you do is inspect any upload feature. Okay, if you want this file, or you open a notepad, you can open any notepad. Inside the notepad, you paste this particular. I'll send you the code. Open a notepad. I'll ping you some code. Open a notepad. Copy paste this particular text which I send it in the chat. HTML content, copy paste and save it as .html. Just open on Notepad and then paste this code and then gives file save as any file name upload.html. You save it in desktop. We'll try to trigger that particular file, HTML or HTML. This file, if you open, you will get this one. It's clear? We're able to get that? Just try it quickly. We'll write a script for uploading. And once you open it in the Chrome browser or anything, just copy the URL, paste it over here. It's a static page which I'm creating. It's working for you. Upload something like this.
Yes.
Now, okay, we'll load that particular page. First, directly you can use send keys. That will work. That is one option. And then now we'll try to click on this. What you do is you inspect this and then you try to click on it. Mostly it will not react for the click, dot click. So we'll use it as ID. So let me use here. When I try to click, I'll be getting an error like this. You also might get that error. Same error, invalid argument. So we can't click directly using this click operation because that is not a clickable element. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use mouse over action class. Okay. Remember that this actions class, what we are doing. You don't listen here. This actions class, what we are doing, where it's coming from. This actions class will contain keyboard activities and mouse activities. Where it is coming from?
AWT.
It is coming from Selenium. Remember that org.openq.selenium. The actions class, whenever you use mouse or actions using this particular action class, using robot class also I can do mouse or activities and keyboard activities. Robot class, whatever is in front of the screen, it will type. Even in the Eclipse also it will type robot class. That is a different class coming from Java. This actions class coming from Selenium. The usage of Selenium is only within the page. Only within this page it will do the operation. Wherever it sees the HTML, right, that content only it can automate. It's clear for you? Actions class. You do mouse or actions, it will do only on this place. Suppose you right click on it. Okay, after right click on do mouse over using Selenium in this one. Mouse over on this or down arrow up arrow, nothing will work whenever you use keyboard activities and mouse over activities using the actions class because it's coming from Selenium. Only within the Selenium code, this HTML content, it will work. Clear for you? After right click, you want to do down arrow up arrow in this one. In that case, I will be using robot class. Clear for you? VK down,
Yes.
if you do, it will work over here. Okay, with Selenium only within the page you can do the operation. In robot class, we can click on this using XY axis only. But in Selenium only we can click on this using the element. That's what I'm going to do. Actions class, mostly within the page, if you do, use the actions class and complete. Don't go for robot class. Don't go for robot class and then auto AT to do some operation within the web page, which is not required. Mostly it will work with Selenium. If it is not working, then only you have to go for robot class and all. So use actions because it is inside the page, this upload screen. Suppose I want to click on this close, I want to click on it directly. Then I can't use Selenium, I have to use robot only in this case. Okay, which people don't do, I'm just telling you. Now I want to click on this. When I use driver.findElement.click, it was not working. So I'm going to do a actions class key. Actions dot, listen here, actions dot click of web element. This is a mouse click. Okay, click on web element. Directly it will go and click on the web element. Or we can do the traditional way, move to element. First we'll move to element. Which element? This is the element. This element, this was not working, right? So this will be the element. Move to element, and then I can do dot click. Will this code work if I run this? Dot click actions class. What is required? How many actions we are doing over here under actions class? Move to element is one action, click is one action. How many action?
Two.
Two actions, right? So first we have to build it for sure. If there is more than one action, we have to build. Only then it will react. After build, it will combine all this together and keep it ready. And only when you give perform, it will run. If you don't give this to statement, it will never run. Actions class. Clear for you? Now let me run this program. Now it will load the page. It will load the particular HTML. Then it will perform a click. After clicking, we'll get the screen. We'll try to inspect on the screen. Okay. Is it working for you? Click. Just open that screen and keep it ready. We'll try to inspect using Auto IT. That's a Windows zone. Once we click on it, Selenium can't do anything on this. It's a Windows part. Okay. All done till this. Is it clicking?
Yes, Balaji.
So once it clicks, you can create a new script. We'll start writing the script. To write the script in Auto IT, we need to know basic of Auto IT. That is fine. I'll just explain you about that. Okay, I'll not go deep into it. I'll just tell you how to inspect it and how to write the code. There are methods like these are all methods only. See here, these are all methods only. Sleep, send, all these are methods in Auto IT, not in Java. Auto IT is a different component. It's clear, nowhere related with Java. Understood? It's a new technology, okay, which is for Windows part of automation. So now with Auto IT, we can inspect the Windows part. This is a Windows part. You got the difference between web and Windows, right? All of you. This is coming from the operating system directly. Okay, not exactly coming from the browser point of view. So this one we have to automate it. In order to automate this, Selenium will not work. Selenium is a pure web application automation. So we have to inspect this. I can send the file name over here. Here I can do this. Suppose I want to upload this pictures. That pictures I want to upload. I can give pictures. Let me take the pictures. I can give something like this, and then I can click on open, right? It's going to something else. Java basics is there, no? That document if you want to upload Java basic PPT. Okay, so I can give that over here, right? Complete PPT and click on open. It will open. So once you click on choose file, here if you see, I can give complete path and then the file name. Here I can give this. Instead of selecting it folder by folder, you can do this. File name, you can give the complete path, file name and extension and click on open. This will try to do in auto IT. You can give any file over here. Okay. So to write the script in auto IT, first open this one, and then after opening, we need to inspect the element. So we will be first always do this before any of this script is going to generate an exe, right? This auto IT script is going to generate an exe. Okay, you start that test after giving some delay always. Okay, because the problem is we may not know what happens once you click on the upload, that upload, right? Once you click on it, takes some time to display Windows Explorer sometime, so you give some delay before running the script. Okay, sleep time. Now we need to focus. See, every time what happens is every time you do manually, what are the steps you follow? Same thing you have to follow. So once you click on this, the screen comes. Okay, so we will be type pasting over here the link, right? Okay, the same step we need to do. First we need to get the control of this. First we need to get the control of this. Okay, which means we have to focus this particular part of a Windows part, and then we have to send this particular text, and then I have to click on open. Each step. First I need to get the focus of this particular element detail, and then I have to send this particular text and then click on open. This is the step I need to do. So you go to that folder where you have downloaded auto IT. Inside that auto IT you can see there is AU3 info. AU3 info. Are you getting that?
Yeah. Yes, Balaji.
Yeah, once you open that AU3 info, that will be used for inspecting things. Okay, we'll do that now. Now you can open the Chrome. It comes to this particular part. You can see here. Okay, listen here. I opened that AU3. Same thing you will be getting. Now, this part I need to inspect the file name, that particular text box. Drag and drop. You can do. See here. Just drag this and you can focus on that particular element. Once you focus on it, what are the things you have to notice on the auto i3 info? You have to check the title, class, and then instance. Okay, for the time being, we are just going to upload. These three is enough. Title you need to check, class you need to check, instance you need to check. Okay, what is the title? Inspect it properly. You don't inspect some other box. Inspect exactly. See here. You have to inspect properly inside this text box, not the outside box. Inside this text box properly. You're getting the title open. All the Windows machine will have some common fields only, right? You drag this finder tool, drag and drop anyway. So I'm going to point to this particular file name. Inside this file name, the text box. Are you getting the title?
Yes.
Title is open, class is edit, instance is one. These three we need to use. Okay, first we will focus on this. Then I'll tell you how to set the text. Later I'll tell you how to get the text and all. Now we'll set the text. After setting the text, we have to click on open. Okay, so we got this. No, just go to auto i3, this script, and then go to. We will be using a method called focus. First we need to focus. Control focus. Everyone listen here. Control focus. It's a case sensitive. Give it properly. Once you open the bracket, see what it has. It will ask for three parameter. Okay, so title, text, and then control ID. Okay, text we don't give anything directly. First we will give the title. What is the title?
Open.
After inspect, what is the title?
Open.
Open, right? So I'll be giving the title. So it's case sensitive, give it properly. Now open, comma, text you leave it as it is. Double quotes, you finish it. Okay, now this is important. So the third component, what it tells us, it will tell you about control ID. Okay, control ID is nothing but the combination of class and instance. What is the class name? Edit. Okay, instance is one. So that is your control ID. So you have to give edit one. Here you will have class name will be there and then instance will be there. Edit one. This will focus on that particular text box. It should be available in the Windows. Okay, done. Just try this. Control focus open. Text you leave it as it is. Control ID will be class and instance. Now, all done. This one control focus.
Yes.
Now we have to set the text. After focusing that particular text box, I need to set the text. You can control set text. There will be a method called control set text. This method, just listen here. In this method, it will ask for almost same parameter. It will ask for title, text you leave it. Okay, that is not going to be used nowadays. Title, it is nothing but open. Text you can leave it as it is in double quotes you mentioned. Control ID is going to be same. New text we have, right there, you give the path which you want to upload. For example, I'll give the title. Title is going to be open. Okay, since you give it properly, title, and then comma, text. You leave it as it is. Control ID is nothing but edit one. That is the control ID, comma. What happened? Okay, let me finish. Open and then edit. Now we need to give the path. So path is nothing but the path which I want to planning to upload. So that is the path. So this file I'm planning to upload, right? This path, let me take the path and pass it in the auto IT. Open, double quotes you leave as it is, text, edit one, and then comma, the path which you want to upload. This will set the text to that field. Now we need to click on open. All done with this? Now,
Yes, done.
yeah, so now we need to click on open only. So you go to that Chrome, upload, this open button we need to click, right? Inspect open button properly and check what is the title, name, and then instance, class name and instance. Okay, the method is control click, third method. All of you done with these two? Focus and then get text. So after that, we will be inspecting the, on the upload screen, I'll be inspecting the button. So let me drag and drop over the button. See button. So title is open, class is button, instance is one. So the key is over here on the script. It is going to be control click. There's a method called control click. See, lots of method is there. This is enough for us. It will ask for title. Title is nothing but open. Then after title, text, you leave it as it is, comma, control ID. Remaining are optional. Control ID is nothing but button 1. Case sensitive, give it properly. Button 1. This is the control ID. Save the script in the project. Save the script and then compile it. Take the exe, paste it inside your auto IT folder. Then we'll use it in the upload part. Okay, done. If you're done with this, now we'll save the script. Let me save the script in the one upload HCL. Okay, just save the script. After saving the script, tools, you can give compile or build, anything is fine. Once you compile it, on the same folder, you will be having the exe file. Take the exe file and paste it inside your project. Copy the exe file and go to your project and upload inside the, just paste it inside the upload details. All done? Not upload details, auto IT folder, right? Okay, all done. Script, all of you done with the script?
Yes.
If you want, you can take it from the chat window. Script, this will be only once you need to write. Everywhere you can use this. This is for Windows machine. Remember that. You can't run this in Mac. Script I've been due. So just paste it in the script, save it, compile it. You'll have the exe file. That exe file you take it and then you paste it inside the project. Now we need to trigger, right? After clicking on the upload, you can already, there is a 3-second delay. So inside the script itself, we have a delay. If you want to give some thread or slip, you give it. Otherwise, you can call that method. So in order to call the method, we'll be using a class called runtime. Runtime.get runtime. This is going to return a runtime. I have to store it in runtime. Okay. And then I have to call the exe. So otherwise, you can directly call exe. That command you just pass it. So which is nothing but auto it slash upload htl.exe semicolon. Okay, let me run this program. It might throw you exception, just give IO exception. Let me run this program and show you. Don't disturb your mouse during this operation. Okay, it happens quickly. If you want to see steps in between, you can give sleep dot sleep of 1 second, 2 second in between the script. Every time you change the script, you have to compile and you have to replace this. It's clear for you? Every time I change the script, I have to compile it. Once I compile it, I have to make a copy here. It's working for you?
Yes, working.
Yeah, good. So now I'll just tell you something which is not for everyone. Okay, since you asked how to inspect the element and get the element value, I'll just tell you. And it may not work in all the fields. Okay, it may not work in all the fields, but I'll tell you how to inspect the element. For example, now what we are doing is we are writing the script. After writing the script, we are compiling it and we are running it through Java. That's it. After this, we can further with driver.find element.click, all these things. That is clear for you? Now, okay, suppose you want to get the text from this. If you see here, after inspecting, you can see over here in auto IT, and there's auto IT. You can go for info here. If I inspect anything, I can get the text over here. Okay, so this you will not get it in Google. So if you want to listen, otherwise it's fine. Anyway, we will not do this. After you inspect this, okay, it will after you inspect this. See here, after I inspect this, under visible text and all, you will have the detail. Okay, every component we cannot inspect, but some address field, those things I can inspect and I can get the value. Okay, visible text will hold the detail. Okay, similarly, once I click on upload over here, see here, now I've given some value inside the text. Okay, this text, after giving the value, the address is going to be this one, address, and the visible text is going to be that one, and the window also, control also, you will have text. Okay, so we have an option to get the text. Okay, in the auto IT, somehow using auto IT, we can get the text of this one or of this one, whichever is inspectable, that text we can get it. I'll just tell you how to get the text in auto IT and then how to move it to the Java code. Okay, this is for not for everyone. Okay, just check on this. I'll just show you that. Okay, let me show you that script first. You already have that script. I'll show you. Okay, see here, this text I'll try to get it over here. Once I click on choose file, this screen will be coming, right? Already we have inspected the screen, so we know what is title, what is the class and instance. We know what is class and instance for this. Okay. Now you can see over here, I'm focusing control set we have done. After control set, which is going to set the text, we have a method called get text. This is not Java, it is auto IT. Okay, we can get the text of which field. You can call the method. While calling the method, it will ask for title and it will ask for the control ID. You know the control ID and this, right? Whatever you give over here, whatever you are able to inspect here, okay, that you put it. Okay, for that control, it will get the text. For example, I want the text for this. Inspect this first. After inspecting it, use control get text, then give the title class and then ID over here, and then title as auto IT over here, something like that. Okay, for our element, we already done that. For our elements here, once I inspect this, we already know what is the title. Title is open, class edit, instance is one. So control get text, open, edit one. Okay, that is one text I'm getting. This one text I'm getting, and in order to store in auto IT, we have to use dollar and any variable name, the output. Okay, any variable name. Okay, and then what I'm doing is, and I'm trying to get the top window also here, this part also. This part also I'm trying to get, which is nothing but toolbar window 32, instance is 3, title is open. So I'm just getting the text, control get text, open, toolbar, and it is of 3, 32, toolbar window 32, and then instance 3. Set text is going to set the text on the Windows part. Get text will try to get the text from the window part. Visible text will be there. Okay, that value we will be getting it. Okay, and that will be stored inside the auto IT. Somehow we write the script, we get the code inside the auto IT. Now to push it into the Java. So we need this in Java, right? At some point, canvas is totally different. Canvas is image. If it is a Windows part of you, we can try this. Okay, so I will be getting the text. I will be storing the text inside the auto IT. From auto IT, I need to push it to the Java. Okay, so what happened when you build this? When you build this, what will happen? The script
exe will be generated.
exe will be generated, right? When you execute the exe, there will be an input stream, there will be an output stream. We are running through Java, right? In case if you want to send the input, we will be using input stream. In case if I want to get the output from that process, that exe, I can use out. I can use a input stream to get that. Okay, to get the input. See, understand that what we are going to do right now is we have seen what is out input stream and output stream. Okay, now from that exe, I'm going to try to get the input. We'll be using a command using input stream. I will be getting the command. Okay, to send this exe when I run, it should give me an output. Okay, to do that, I will be using console write. Console write means write system.out.println is printing something in the console, right? Same thing. If I run this exe, it will give you an output. That output we need to get it in Java. To write the output in this auto IT, we'll use control write. You can give control write dollar text, whatever is stored in the text that will come. Control write in double quotes, if I mention anything, that is like a string. And then I'm giving control write add top. Over the top we have, right? That also I'm giving. So let me build this one. Is it clear? The script is clear for you? This two is getting the text. One is getting the text from this particular bar. The other one is getting the text from this particular bar. Now console write will write the text. Where it will write? While running the exe, we need to get that one. While running the exe, it will run the exe. Console write will be happening, right? From that we have to get the output through Java. Okay. Then once you get it in the Java, you can validate it easily. So to do that, I'll just generate the script, save it. Let me build it. Once I build it, get and message text, that exe will be there. I have already built that. So let me go into that particular folder. Okay, this is the exe. This exe will give me an output. Okay, let me create one class inside this. Create one new class. Read value from auto IT. Using auto IT, we can inspect the Windows point of view. From I'm just printing over there. From there, I'm reading it to the Java part. Till this, I can take it. It's the same code only. I need all these lines of code because we need the upload screen also. So once that is done, over on this add row declaration, we already have the script. This is the script. Let me copy the script, go to the project, paste it inside the auto IT. That script. Okay, now this script is actually having console.write line. When you run it, it will run. It will run and you will not get the output right now. In order to get the output, we have to do some process from this exe. After executing the exe, that with that process, see this exe is going to return a process. With that process, we need to get the whatever we have done over there, console.write. All this we have to collect and print it in the our console, Java console. Let me this exe will give you an output process. Let me store that process p equal to this. This process is coming from java.lang. Remember that. Now, once the process is stored, now I'll be using a reader. Okay, now this exe, after executing the exe, okay, using reader, we will try to read. While reading it, we'll be using the stream object. I will be passing it. Just follow this. Buffer reader. Let me put read equal to new buffer reader. Okay, which one I am planning to read? That I need to tell. Okay, which is actually a input stream. Okay, let's new input stream, which is actually file input stream we do, right? Same concept only. Input stream. Then the where is the stream? We have to collect the stream from this one. So from this we have to convert that stream and then paste it over here. Whatever the process we have, we can do it in step by step also. I can do it in two different line also. This is going to be a separate process. Okay, this is actually input stream. Input stream in equal to this. Okay. So with that process, this is the process. With that process, getting the stream. Whatever is there in that process, we are trying to get it, and that we are trying to read in the Java. So for Java, we have to convert into stream. That is the process. Whatever the process we have, we are getting the process. For example, file input stream, we are giving the location of Excel, right? That process is line number 31. Got it? File input stream, property file location, Excel file location we give, right? Something like that. This one, it will hold the process. Now, after holding the process, we have to read it. Using for reading, in order to read the Excel, we will use Excel workbook. In order to read the properties, we'll use properties class load method. We will be using buffer read. Okay, in this case, pass that in over here. Now, this will be trying to read the value. So, while reading the value, we'll have to write some step over here. So, in dot next line, and then we will be doing the operation. So, over here, while while read dot whether the line is present or not. So read line, you can mention it as read line. If there is a read line, if it is not equal to null, if it is not equal to null, try to read the line and store it in a string. So let me store it in a string text. We are not using text, right? So text equal to, let me put it into string. Let me declare over here the string. Okay, so let me, if it is not null, it will store it into this particular text. And then I'll print it in that text. Okay. Just follow this. Here what I'm doing is I'm just declaring some double quotes empty string. Okay. Now read dot read line. If this buffer is having any set of line, it will read and it will store it in the text. If it is not null, I'm printing. If it is null, it will leave and it will come out. That's it. Nothing will happen. Either you can do this or you can directly put this line outside. Just outside you put, you will be getting the text equal to read dot read line and you can print it directly. Okay, let me run this program. So this will run the exe. Let me cancel this. Save this. This will run the Selenium code. It will go to that exe. It will trigger the exe. While triggering the exe, I'll set some path. That path it will try to capture and print it in the console. So over here, if you see what and all I'm trying to print in the script, you can see what and all we are printing. All will be coming over here. In the script, I have console write text. The text is nothing but open and edit one. Open and edit one, you know what is it, right? Open and edit one is nothing but this particular part. So this text will be printed first. You can give comma separator and you can do split. This is the first one. Next, I am trying to read open and toolbar. Open and toolbar is nothing but this particular part. Address, this particular part. It is holding the Balaji something. So that address bar. In between that, I'm printing hello. That is also printed. Okay. From this, you can get the text. Now I got the text. I got it as a string. Then you can use it as a, you can directly validate assertion, all this you can do it. Okay, so whatever the process you run, you have to get the, see, instead of running this process, I can trigger calculator. You can trigger calculator, you can trigger any Windows exe. Okay, Eclipse also exe, right? I can trigger an exe of Eclipse and then I can get the control of Eclipse and I start inspecting the auto IT. Whatever you are able to inspect, you can use this concept to get it there. You try to get the control text, add it in the console, right, and do it. Is it clear for you? You try this. This is for a Windows part of view, and you can't inspect this with browser. It's not possible at all with auto IT. Canvas also, I don't think it will be possible. Just check with Canvas whether you are able to inspect this one. Check that. I don't think it will be helpful. Canvas is actually an image. What you can do is, it's an image, right?
No. Yes, it will not come. It will just show me the browser name.
Yeah, so with the image, what you can do is you can take the screenshot, then only you can validate. Browser image validation is not possible, but in that, if you want to send some data like typing something, validation will be the only part which will be pending. Apart from that, everything can be done. Like using XY axis, you can send the data. If action class is not working, you can use directly auto IT to send the text. Okay, or you can use robot framework also to send the text using XY axis.
With the
Okay.
Selenium also I can send text, right?
Yeah, with Selenium, if it is working, then it's fine. Directly you can use actions class and use send keys.
Yeah. But
But
validation
validation is the thing which is not actually possible with the image. You have to get the image, store the image. Maybe we can only thing is after getting the image, that image you have to do validation manually, or image reader is not at all possible. And even if there is an image reader, it will not give you a proper value because it just pixel by pixel. With screenshot, it will be different. So it will not be helpful on validation also. But you can do the operation completely, and you can save the screenshot also.
Yes, I have done that. Yes.
Okay, if some Windows part is coming, you can try with this. If something like pop-up you want to read, you want to get that, you try with this auto
Okay.
IT. Okay, but Flaw UI might work, Flaw UI, but it is not supported in Java. That is also pure Windows automation part. Any application I will be able to inspect and do the operation in Fly UI.
Okay.
Canvas, it's not possible. Only thing is you have to check for image comparison.
Okay.
Okay, any other project issue you have?
Actually, I tried when I tried with Python when sending the keys to the canvas, it worked, without changing the frame, all those things. But now
Hmm.
when I tried with Java, it didn't. I couldn't send the keys to the canvas.
See, for you don't want to switch into the framework and all, frame and all. If you see, how are you sending the text using XY axis or anything?
No, just directly send keys.
Send keys in the sense before that cursor should be in that point.
Yes, cursor will be there in that point.
Can you show me the screen?
Yeah.
We'll discuss the remaining topic. Let me check that particular scenario. After that, we'll discuss the remaining topic. One second. Yeah, share me the screen.
Yes. Now.
Switch to frame is there actually after get text.
Yes, I added it.
There is no action class. No?
Um,
Just create an object for action class and use same. Okay, go to the page. Go to that page. Type something in your keyboard without. You need to click and then type, or directly you can type.
no, directly I can type.
You can add actions class, then it should work. Or robot class, you can directly do it. Robot class object you can create and then
Okay.
yeah, that you copy it, string text. Frame you can command. Frame is not required.
Okay.
Now run it.
Yes.
Okay, it will
So,
work. Tab and all you can inspect this. Can you inspect and show me the content? It's pure canvas. 1 minute, can you give me the control?
Yeah. Actually, I tried with Sikuli also, Selenium and then Sikuli. There I
Yes.
can do all these things. Even, but the drawback is it is like a location, like it traces my location and it will perform the operations, right? So
Yes.
suppose if I close the browser in between, or if something like browser didn't come up, all those things, so it will fail. So that's why I couldn't complete.
It will take your system and then it will do the process actually. 1 second, let me try this. Check any content we're able to see in this from that page.
Content, content editable is a variable is not there.
Not like that, just some text, what is copyright or something. Uh, Canvas, please use HTML5 supported browser. 1 second. Canvas of 0 dot capture string to get valuable access key.
Text content.
What it is showing? Can you zoom? 1 second, let me zoom. It's not showing editable. What you need to validate in this?
What is the screen that I'm getting? The contents like user, password, all those
Okay.
things. If I can check what is the text on the screen, that's enough for me.
Native method. What it is telling is connected.
Maybe with the host or the session is connected.
These things you can check it. Somewhere here you will be able to get the some internal detail which gives you proper this JavaScript gives you some lookup last child. Any useful detail inside this? No script, I guess.
Again, it goes there, right?
Any detail? Now we need to check something inside this. We will have some details. You got this right? How to explore. So with
Yes,
this, if developer given some see sign on is there. Yeah. So the
yes, I
script
know.
you can
Yes,
check it. Sign on is there. Okay, just make a note of the script 1 second. So this actually developer knows detailing. I'm just trial and error. We can find these things. This will be enough for you to validate. 1 second. Let me note the script first of all. Outer document. What document I gave?
owner document.
Owner document, right? So this script will write. Will get the string. When the string, you will have something related to user or anything. Can you?
Sorry, what?
Just copy this in this one. You will be able to copy it. Save as save. Save. It's okay. Save. Open that. Give Control F. Search for anything. Apart from that, anything else you search? menu user. Yeah. User is not there. One second.
Okay. So that will be showed as please use HTML5 for supported browser. I think we can't say that.
One second. Let me check it. Color hidden field only hidden. Fine. Program outer document. So this. So inside this one more canvas is there. So we have to write some few
Okay.
scripts, move into scripts, and then we can get it.
Okay. So, but we can't see that here, right?
Which
Those
one?
canvas. So I can see only one canvas tag there, web element there, but
That is actually completely hidden. So we have to, one second, I have to write a script for that. That cancel. Owner document, and then child get node cloud child base unit text node. What is output?
canvas.
Animation. Copyright you are getting.
Yes, this is getting this.
This one, right?
Yes.
Just save the script which I've written. Like you, yeah, the script you save it. With this, we'll try to get the text and put it in the console. Later, you can validate that. Okay, this is a JavaScript. I'll explain it now. We'll take some break, then we'll discuss JavaScript, then I'll complete Jenkins and get.
Okay.
You got it right. So canvas is actually an hidden field. It's going to show you only the image. So this script actually only developer knows. We can find if you have knowledge earlier about JavaScript, we have to move one by one and then we have to get it. It takes some time to validate it, but this you don't get it in Google also. We have to search, spend some time over the script and then we have to learn. Similarly, for videos also, you'll have all the details inside the script. That script,
Okay.
if you are able to write exactly, will get all the detail about videos.
Okay.
Okay, this is giving you all the detail, right?
Yes.
We'll try to write this and get it in the console and see what's happening.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you how to get the values. We'll do it after the break. Okay, and
Okay.
how many of you have access to this application in your in this training batch?
Everyone have.
Okay, maybe you can try this. I'll tell you how to use JavaScript and get the value, and use JavaScript to send the values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Please provide the feedback before leaving for the day.
Yes. I think everyone have given.
Okay. And possible that is for client end. You can provide feedback for me also if you have time. I'll give you the link in the chat window. This is for me. Okay, this
Okay.
will you just send me that. I've given it in the chat window. We'll do after the break. We'll start by 4:30. Today we'll mostly will complete by 6 o'clock. Otherwise, it will take just 15 minutes extra. We'll take a break. We'll start by 4:30. We'll start.
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
We'll start.
Yes, Balaji.
Yeah, so we'll quickly see JavaScript concept. JavaScript is basically used to bypass in a scenario where your Selenium code or actions close code is not working, and to click on the hidden elements. Okay, so hidden elements. Now we will use this JavaScript. Okay, whenever you get a element not interactable exception, you can use this JavaScript to bypass those scenario. Okay, so you can use JavaScript. So you will all of you were seeing that code, right? When I was doing in that mission, Karthik's mission, I was writing some script in the console. Let me go with the page which we already are working on. Okay, let's take this page. Okay, so see here. Okay, all of you were seeing that screen, right? I was writing something in the console. Okay, so JavaScript is also a language. It's a scripting language. Okay, it is also contains nowadays with the programming also it's possible. See here. Here, most of the browser will be having enable JavaScript. We use actions class, right? Actions dot move to element and then actions dot click, actions dot move to element or move by offset. Those methods we are writing. So that will be automatically converted into JavaScript and that will be running in this system. So to work with JavaScript, you should know basic idea about HTML, and you can easily work with JavaScript with Selenium. Considering Selenium, we will not learn entire JavaScript concept. We will be learning the concept of JavaScript, whichever is required for automation. Okay, so I'll tell you two important things. First, what you need to know in JavaScript when you work in Selenium is you should know how to click on an element using JavaScript, how to type on the element using JavaScript. Later, I'll explain you the importance of JavaScript. First, you understand how to click using JavaScript, how to type using JavaScript. Let me write the code JavaScript something best. With the main method itself, we'll be working on. We are not working in framework. We are just working on the concept. Let me use the URL already. We have the URL. Okay, I just created a main method. I created a package .htl.javascript and then I created a main method. Inside the main method, I'm going to navigate to this particular URL. Okay. Now, using JavaScript, as I told you, few things are okay. Everyone listen here. All of you were able to go into the browser and then console. Inspect any element. After inspecting, it will go to the element section. Here you have console. Morning, I told how to validate XPath, $X. That is also one of the JavaScript. Whichever is not possible using Selenium inside the browser, whichever is not possible using Selenium, we'll use JavaScript to do the operation. Okay. First, we'll understand how to use JavaScript. JavaScript, click and send keys. It's clear for you? We used first. We'll understand JavaScript click and send keys with web element. With web element, I'll tell you, and then after this, we'll understand JavaScript click and send keys without web element concept. Okay, we'll do that now. So everyone knows about this element, right? When I inspect on this element, okay, what is the ID over here? for this element?
Mail.
We have the ID email. Okay, I can use JavaScript to do the operation. Basically, developer will do something like this. On click and all, see here. We have seen on click method, right? On the demo application, this application, there is an attribute called on click. Once you inspect it, you can see there is an attribute called on click. On click transmit form. It's a method. It's a JavaScript method. Okay. So when you click on this login, they will call this method. When they call this method, it's a JavaScript method. It will do the validation and then it will allow you to enter the portal. Okay. Similarly, we are getting an alert message, right? Few alert which we are not able to inspect. Those are JavaScript. I can also write the message over here. Alert here. Hi. It's a method in JavaScript. Alert hi. If I do, I'll be getting an alert message. This one we can't inspect. In order to automate this, I have to use switch to alert and then I have to click on OK. This is a JavaScript method. Okay, using JavaScript we can scroll also. Okay, there are lots of JavaScript method, but we will not work on every method. First we'll understand basic concept. Okay, how to write JavaScript using ID. Okay, we have an ID over here, ID equal to email. I want to use JavaScript to find the element. Okay, JavaScript is a separate concept. It is actually run on the this particular HTML. Okay, we used to write something called document. Okay, all the elements what we are seeing, all these are called DOM elements, document. Okay, document object model. So if you see here, every element comes under document only. All the element comes under document. So this document will hold the entire element. Using this only, developer will make changes. Developer will be using this document dot. There is a method called get element by ID. Document holds the entire element. All these are called DOM elements. Document dot get element by ID. Inside this, if I give the username, that is email, it will give me that particular element if it is a proper ID. Similarly, we have lots of method in document. One of the method only I've tried writing over there on a screen, right? In a screen, I found the JavaScript. No, I was using this document only to find the inner elements and all. Okay, so we don't want to know that much knowledge right now. We just want to know how to use a basic JavaScript. If you know how to use a basic JavaScript, you can easily develop your knowledge in JavaScript. Okay, now first using JavaScript, I'll tell you how to send the code. Next, we'll use Selenium and JavaScript and do the operation like sending the keys, click. These two will be important. I got the element right. In this, if I want to click on this element, I have to use a method dot click. If I want to type this, I will be using a key dot value in the variable equal to, in single quotes or double quotes, you can give the value. So I will be giving this value. Okay, so this is going to run inside the first document is entire HTML content. The document dot get element by ID. This is the ID. Dot value will send the text. Okay, now I want to understand. I want to get the text what is present inside this text box. For that, what I need to do is I need to use document.getElement by ID dot value. Whatever the text over here, that will be given to me. So if I run that one, see here, updated value. So this document will, using this document only, it will be keep on processing the data. So using this document, we'll play with this elements. When the element is not visible on the UI, we are getting that element not interactable exception, right? When we try to click on logout on this page, when we try to click on logout, okay, at that time it was showing me element not interactable, right? We over on this, then only we are allowed to click. I can use this JavaScript to click on that. Okay, is this clear? How to write JavaScript for basic ID? This is nowhere related with Selenium. Understand this. This will directly interact with the browser. Okay, every browser will have JavaScript enabled thing. Most of the elements, inner elements itself will have a script. You can see a script tag. Inside the script tag, you can see these scripts only. So what developer will do is, once you enter the username over here, in the background, that script will be running. document.get element by id email dot value. He will get this, and he will check the email id, and he will give the error in the background. All this will happen in the background. It's clear for you? What developer will do is, this script will be there inside the script tag. In the top of the screen you can see there are script tag. Inside that script you can see lots of scripts will be there. One of the script, in there will be lots of inner script. Inside the script you will be trying to write something like this, and you will get the value. Value whatever you type, whenever you type, value will be keep on updating in that one. So that script will be keep on running. It will try to get the value. After getting the value, if it is not having any domain or anything, it will show you this error. How it is shown? Document.get element by id, or and then it will create an HTML, inner HTML. It's clear for you? Is it clear? This one, how to send the value using id. Now we need to know how to execute the script in Selenium. Okay. So in Selenium, you all know how to get the find the element, right? Driver.find element by dot xpath // star and then at the rate id equal to email. Everyone knows about this element, right? What is the output of this? It will give you a web element. Find element always gives you a web element. So let me store it somewhere. This is going to be email element. Everyone knows about this, right? Now in order to click on this, what is the code we will be using? Or in order to send the value, what is the code we will be using?
Chain keys.
.send keys, right? Assume that, okay, when the page is purely developed on JavaScript, or when the page is having JavaScript validation, send keys will not work. Send keys will throw error, or send keys will send wrong data. And when the send keys is sending the data, validation will not happen. You can't move forward. So you have to use JavaScript to send the text. You will come to know about that page. Okay, click, it will throw error. Send keys also will throw error. During that time, implement this concept JavaScript. Okay, you get the element. Now I'm going to include with web element, which means JavaScript and Selenium we are going to combine. Later I'll write a single code without web element. This code I'll tell you later on. Okay, but you got an idea, right? Document, what is document, what how to do alert, all this in the JavaScript. Directly we can write it in the console itself. Okay, scroll also, there is a command, JavaScript command, in order to do a scroll. That also we need to know how to execute. Okay, now is it this one you want to use JavaScript and perform a send keys? For example, this code we have, right? This one, how to run this in Selenium? I have written document.get element by id email dot value equal to this. How to run this in Selenium? See, in order to run this in Selenium, we have a method. Okay, this
Send
code I
keys.
will be taking, not send keys. We will be taking the JavaScript completely, and we will be running in Selenium. Okay, let me finish the second one first without web element. So directly I've written the code. This code is working in the console. If it is working in the console, you can start writing, take the code and put it into the Java. So over here, driver dot, there is a method called execute script. Okay, which is not going to be available in the class level directly. Driver.execute script. Basically, it is inside the Chrome driver. For example, let me check it, change this to Chrome driver. See, if I create an object for Chrome driver, listen here, if I create an object for Chrome driver, I will be able to get the script, driver.execute script. Okay, this method I will be using. What is the parameter? String and then the object. Okay, so in the execute script, object is optional, so I will be giving string. Whatever the script I have taken from the page, I can run this driver.execute script. Directly I can write the JavaScript. Okay, you know how to split it into string and pass it, right? That you do it later. You can store it in a string text equal to that text, and this one you can split it. How to split? Just give this and plus this. This you can do, split it, and you can pass it as a string. That we will do it later. Okay, this is the script. Now, here when I create an object for Chrome driver, it is allowing. When I create a Firefox driver directly, it will allow me. When I create an object for Firefox driver directly, it will allow me to do the operation, execute script. But it will not work when I put WebDriver over here. So what is the reason that execute script will throw error? What is the reason? So what is WebDriver? It's an interface. It will have the method declaration only. Okay. So we don't have this method. The method name. One second. Yeah, the method name execute script is not there in the WebDriver. Okay, but the method is in the Chrome driver. When I create an object for Chrome driver, directly it's showing the method. But when I put it into the WebDriver, it's not showing, because when I give driver dot, it will show the method only from WebDriver, right? So WebDriver is not having the method, but Chrome driver is having the method. So in this case, we have to do typecast. We have to do typecast to that particular class, Chrome driver. I can do a typecast. How to do a typecast? Okay, so let's listen here. I can do this, right? Chrome driver and then driver. Already driver is there, right? So new object we don't want to create. Just listen here. Already we have the driver, right? So Chrome driver drive d equal to driver. Okay, I can do this, right? Chrome driver d equal to driver. What is driver? New Chrome driver, which is acceptable. Now I will be putting a typecast over here. During the runtime, it will try to put the new Chrome driver into D, which is possible. Clear for you? This is also a typecast. We do typecast on the double and all, right? So what I'm doing is, during the compile time, it will not know this driver is about a new Chrome driver. But what I did is I typecasted to Chrome driver. During the runtime, if it is acceptable, then it will store it in D. If it is not acceptable, it will throw error. For example, if I put Firefox, is it acceptable? Here, new, can we do Chrome driver D equal to new Firefox driver?
No.
It's not possible. So now during the runtime, we might get the exception. After the page load and all, it will throw the exception. Okay. Now we are sure that when we create an object for Chrome driver, that is possible, because D can point to the Chrome driver, because that is D equal to new Chrome driver. Is that clear? The script here, class cast exception. Firefox driver cannot call the Chrome driver. Now, if I use typecast to Chrome driver, I can't do cross-browser testing, right? I can't change this particular part and do the remaining testing, correct?
Yes.
To achieve cross-browser testing, we need some one layer, the parent layer. Okay. Instead of typecasting to the Chrome driver, I'll be typecasting to a JavaScript executor. JavaScript executor, which is the interface, which is available in all the which is implemented in all the driver class, all the Chrome driver, Firefox driver, all these things. So for take screenshot, we will do something like this typecast, and for JavaScript executor also we do something like this typecast always. Now JS is implemented in this, JavaScript is implemented in Firefox also. If I change it to Firefox, it will work. During the compile time, it will think the execute script is coming from the JavaScript, but during the runtime, based on the object you store, from that it will call the method. Clear with this typecast? This is where we will understand the proper typecasting, not between the numbers. Okay. See, you can do typecast to anything, to any class, any object, but it should be accommodative. It should be. I can do typecast to my upload Selenium class. We have an upload something like HDFC login test, right? I can do HDFC login test and I can do typecast directly. It will allow me, but during the runtime, it will throw error. We should know what is happening during the typecast, then we should go for it. I can do typecast for Chrome driver, but if I do typecast for Chrome driver, it will work only in Chrome. Cross-browser testing will become a problem. So we typecast to on parent level. It's clear for you? This typecast you can do it and you can keep it at the class level also. Wherever you want, you can use JS. Clear for you? Otherwise, whenever you want to do the operation, do a typecast. Now js.execute script, I'm going to just do line number 30 and then js.execute script. Directly I can write the script and I can run it. Using JavaScript, it is going to do the operation. It will not check for the UI of the element. It will do from the background. Okay, from the console we are doing something like that. It will do. It will not check for the element is available in the UI or not. Whereas Selenium find elements in keys and all, it will check for the element is available in the UI or not. It's clear. This is a JavaScript. I'll show you by clicking on the hidden element. In JavaScript, how to click on the element? You have to inspect the element. It is having an ID, 10 keys. We have lots of JavaScript method. We'll go with the basic method, get element by ID, and after sending the element dot, it's a method lowercase. Okay, it will click and then validation happen. So to pass this, copy this, and over here I can use js.execute script. Inside this, I can put that element. You can see backward slash is added because the string is not a part of a string double quotes, or you can use single quotes if it is confusing. Okay. Now using the JavaScript itself, we are doing it is not going to use find element and do the operation from if it is there in the document, whether it is visible or not, it's fine. If it is there in the document, it will directly do the operation. Okay. It happens quickly. Remember that if it is there in the document, it will directly do the operation. Okay, it enters the username and clicks on login. Login and password are required. Okay, so document in the sense it will not check for the UI, it will check whether it is there inside the document. This document contains the entire HTML. It's clear for you? This is the basic JavaScript. Similarly, I have a JavaScript method like get element by ID, get element by document dot, get element by name. All these things you have, and there is a method. Okay, we have a method for, make a note of this. I told you about CSS selector, right? Hash something points to ID. All of you remember hash something points to ID in CSS selector. You can use document dot query selector, which is going to just make a note of it. You can do it later. Document dot query selector. Inside this, I can pass the CSS selector. You already know the CSS selector ID equal to email. So hash email if I pass, it will give you that element. So dot value equal to, you can pass the value. Okay, remember how to pass CSS selector, which method is used. Just keep a make a note of this method. You might be using this method at some point. Okay, query selector. Remaining method and all you don't want. We will directly merge web element and then JavaScript. That I'll tell you. Find element by ID, find element by name, find element by XPath. All this is possible using JavaScript. But we will be merging this code and then the execute script. This is a direct JavaScript. This can be written only if you know JavaScript properly. It's clear? See this, in order to write these commands, document.get element by ID, document.query selector, you should have some basic idea about document. That's it. Right now, you should be able to do it. It's clear for you. This one, document.get element by ID. It's clear or not?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So same thing as I told you, every page will have the document DOM elements. Within the document only will have the entire thing. Now, this is the one way. Okay, sending the keys without using the Selenium concept, without using web element from Selenium. Okay, the Selenium concept, right? Web element, without using web element, how to write the script. Understood query selector? If you know query selector, if you know CSS selector, it will be easy for you to pass. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, document.query selector, and I can use click also dot. There is a send to dot click. It will click on the login. Query selector, you make a note of it. If you know this query selector, it will be useful. Now, how to use JavaScript, and then let me come on this part. Okay, let me keep this and let me remove this. With Selenium, how can you do JavaScript? After getting the web element, you know how to send the text. Instead of using send keys is not working or it is not reacting, then you can go for JavaScript. To use JavaScript, you will be using something like this. Okay, send keys, email element dot send keys, we do know. Some cases it will not work, send keys. In that case, I can use JavaScript to do the operation. For that, we need the execute script method. So to call the execute method, I will be using JavaScript executor is equal to driver. Okay, your driver is nothing but new Chrome driver, new Firefox driver. That is a web driver. So right now it's a web driver. It's a web driver. It's a JavaScript executor. Both are interface. We have to tell it is not a web driver. It is going to hold some other object. Just typecast and move on. Okay, we are just posing it to typecast and move on. During the runtime, it will be new Chrome driver which can be stored because this is also parent. JS dot execute script. Okay, script. I'll be writing the script. This is your email element. Just listen here. How to send the text? JavaScript. What is the keyword we use to send the text? Value.
And keys.
Yeah, value. No, in JavaScript. Dot value, right?
Value.
Yeah, we will be merging. Instead of writing it, it will be difficult for you to write this document.query selector without knowing it, right? But we know about this web element, right? Driver.find element, you can do it. By .id name, anything you can do, you get the element. After getting the element, I want to use JavaScript sending the text dot value, but I want to use this find element with web element. After getting the element, email element, here you can use, this is the first argument. You can see execute script, it accepts script and then lots of object. First element what I give, that is a web element. And what is the type here? First is a string. I have to give it in double quotes. What about this? What is object? Anything we can store it in object, right? This method will take care. Anything I can store it in object. I am putting a web element. Here I'll be using arguments of 0. Arguments of 0. Here automatically it will write the code document.get element by that particular details. It automatically converts. You don't want to do. Now you have to type dot click or dot value. Dot value equal to, in single quotes or double quotes, you can mention the value what you want to send at the end, semicolon. Clear? It will load the page. It will get the web element using find element. After getting the element using JavaScript, it will try to send the text. This is how we have to merge web element with JavaScript. Arguments of 0 dot value equal to this, and if you want to click on it, dot click comma that web element. Clear with this? This
Yes,
particular part. Okay,
Yes.
so now let's keep a note. If you want to click on some element, now important thing is click and send keys. Those two are very important. If you want to click on some element, it is having an ID, right? So you can use a web element, login element. Already we know about that login element. I'll use JavaScript merge. So ID equal to send to. I can use by.id also. After getting the web element, I can use js.execute script. In double quotes, I have to mention the script. Script will be always same. Arguments of 0 dot value or arguments dot click. Now element is login element. Come here. Arguments of 0 dot click. That 0 is nothing but first element. You don't want to worry about it. So I can directly do something like this. Arguments. It is arguments of 1 dot. I can keep on writing the JavaScript, and I can keep on mentioning the web element, comma separated web element. Both the script I can merge together. Okay. First 0 and this is 1. First element is a email element. Second element is login element. Both I can merge it in single line. But we don't do that. We will keep it separately. One is for login, one is for web element. So this is for login. So here arguments of 0 dot value Balaji, that is the first element, email element. Here separate code, arguments of 0 dot click. Argument of 0 is nothing but this one, login element. Okay, so this you should know. At least this you will be able to do it whenever you face an issue like element not interactable. Directly use this concept to send keys and click on it. Okay. We change the username. Okay, clicked on the login. So is it clear? First of all, these two concepts, directly writing a JavaScript using ID and directly writing JavaScript using query selector, CSS selector, dot value, dot click. Is it clear for you? Clear or not, this particular part? Whenever you get element not interactable, right, you can try implementing this and move on. And JavaScript and AngularJS pages, you have to do this operation only. When we use actions class, it will convert this JavaScript only. It will generate a JavaScript like this only. Clear for you? Any doubts in this? Sending the keys using a web element and clicking using web element on JavaScript and directly clicking, directly sending using JavaScript. Any doubts in this too?
No.
Okay, now we have, I already written some under OpenEMR. We did login, right? After login, only when hover on it, it is trying to click on logout, correct? This operation only when I do a hover, it is trying to click, correct? So in this case, I can use JavaScript and I can click on it. I don't want to check whether it is visible on the UI or not, but if I use JavaScript, it will directly click on the element. Okay, first, this is your web element. All of you know about this, right? It's a web element. Web element. It's a logout element. Okay, let me take this, paste it over here. I'll comment this. See, I have got the web element. Now I can implement the JavaScript and click on it. It will not check after clicking on login. Immediately, it will try to click on logout. Okay, JS. We need a JavaScript executor. So JavaScript executor JS equal to whatever the driver you have existing browser, the detail. It will ask for typecast. Do typecast because JavaScript is a parent of all the browser. We typecast to JavaScript to achieve cross-browser testing. Otherwise, we'll typecast to particular browser, which will not help us in cross-browser testing. So JS dot execute script. This will be the script, and this will be the element, logout element. Okay, this is how we have to merge XPath and then JavaScript. Now here, arguments of 0 dot click. The method, give it properly. Dot click as a method you need to give JavaScript method. Now if I run this, it will not check for the value that the element we are getting element not interactable, right? When I directly click on logout, and when I manually hover on it, it is clicking. That is how Selenium will work. But JavaScript will work from the background. Immediately, if the logout is there, it will perform a click immediately in the document. It's clear how to click on the element without visibility. Hidden element also, you can do an operation with JavaScript. There will be a client question, how will you do an operation on the hidden elements, or how will you click on an hidden element? Okay, you can use JavaScript. It's clear? Any doubts?
Yes.
Okay, now this is done. So now in your case, you need to get the value from the JavaScript, correct? In your case, you need to get the value. Like already we have written the script for you, outer document dot something. If I give, it is giving you some value like this, correct? Some value like this we are getting, right? Once I click on enter, I am getting the value.
Yes.
So some set of value you're getting. That value I need to put it into string, which I will be using some validation. Now I'll tell you the code, you try that. Okay, so using JavaScript, right, it's not going to deal only web element. Using JavaScript, I will get the URL, document.url. Using JavaScript, I'll get the title of the page. Entire browser details will be there. Using JavaScript, I can do a scroll. Windows.scroll. You have a method called scroll by. Here 0,500 if you give, it will scroll top to bottom. Okay, top to bottom it will scroll. Vertical scroll I gave 0, horizontal scroll I gave some number, so 0 to 0,100, something like 100. Okay, if you want left to right, you increase the vertical scroll x-axis. This scroll also, you how to run this one in JavaScript. Windows.scroll. It is the code. Copy the code, come here and then give js dot execute script. Directly paste the script. No need of argument because we are doing a scroll. Clear? I want 5 times the scroll should happen. For int I equal to 0, any variable name I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. 5 times the scroll will happen. If you want to scroll and take the screenshot, you can use this windows.scroll. Clear for you? We don't have any vertical scroll, that's why. Yeah, so if you want vertical scroll, change this to some number. X-axis, Y-axis. Left to right is the first one, top to bottom is the second one. Clear how to scroll using this? Directly you write windows.scroll by and give the number. Using JavaScript, you can scroll also. Now, we need to get the text and we need to store. Okay, we need to get the text and we need to store. Something like this, whatever the value present, that value I needed to get it in the console, in the text box. Okay, or whatever you give here, that script value I need. For you, in your case, you have the script. You have the script, right? You have that script?
Which one?
The script which I have written in your screen.
Yes.
Document
Yes.
dot
Yes.
outer
Yes.
element. Instead of I will paste the script, you can paste that script and see.
Okay.
I'll just tell you read value from JavaScript, and then there is going to be a main method. Inside the main method. These topics you will not have time to do an hands-on, so listen carefully, understand this. See, 99% we will be working in whatever we have taught, whatever I taught till now. Okay, so after lunch, right, whatever we discussed, that is some 10% or 5% of your automation. Only in some part you will be fully concentrating on that. Okay, now I created a main method. I'm going to load this one, read value from JavaScript. In order to read the value from JavaScript, okay, first I will set the value. After setting the value, I will try to read the value. In order to read the value, From the text box, I need the value means dot value I'll be giving. Okay, and there is one more thing is also there, document dot location. Fine, document dot URL. This also I'll tell you how to read it. Some script you write, that script is giving you an output. You have to read it and put it into the string. Got it? You write any script in JavaScript, it's giving you an output. That output you want it in Java for validation. How to get that? So we have the script. The script I'll take it. I'll copy the script and I'll use js dot execute script. Okay, direct script I have. The script is returning me some value. So inside the double quotes, use the keyword return. Paste the script what you have. Okay, and then store it in the string. String output equal to this. At the end, you do dot to string. You have to use return keyword. Paste the script, whatever the script you have. Same thing you can do it for document.url also. Output. Okay, so document.url, let me take this and then I'll come over here. Instead of value, I'll be using document.url. Okay, semicolon is not mandatory, without that also it will work. Clear? Return keyword and the script, which script will give you an output. That script you paste it and give dot to string. And run the code. Now it will load the page, it will send the username. Immediately it will try to get the script and print it in the console. Okay. How about your window? Is it giving all the scripts?
Just a minute, I'm trying.
Yeah, okay. Others were able to get this concept, JavaScript. Whatever I taught you, that will be more than enough for you to do in Selenium. You will not learn more than this in JavaScript. Whatever I'm teaching is actually high level. High level in the sense, most of the Selenium who are working in Selenium will also not use JavaScript like this. Okay, I'm just giving an information so that you can try this whenever you have any issues.
Copy.
I'll give you this one in the chat window.
Okay.
Copy paste this one. After copy pasting this one, change the document.query selector that to your code. Yeah, you can take it from the chat window once again. Just copy paste that particular section of a code. After copy pasting, instead of document.query selector dot value, right? Instead of that, write your query, your document dot.
Control V, string out.
Can you share me the screen?
Just a minute.
So we'll quickly start with Jenkins. Okay, let me give you access. Yeah, share me the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, print that one. Document.url not value in line number 13. Yes, run this. So what is that? Cannot read
Cannot read
properly, ultra defined, undefined.
this one.
Just copy the script. Can you go to the console and run it one more time? Copy and paste it in Notepad.
I did.
Instead of double quotes, change it to single quotes.
Is this because of the
Yeah, no, that error, I don't know whether it's single quotes you do instead of double quotes. No, not there. There it is double quotes only for name. Good, yeah. So inside that single quotes, copy the document dot that. Just copy document dot get element by name. Copy completely till text content. Copy that. Go to your Chrome. Now the new Chrome which got open. There you do it. Console. In console you paste it. So one second. So it's not going to come over here. Hmm. Can you click on that? Okay. Inside canvas edition. So can you click on that link? That one? Yeah, okay, fine. Mm, when you focus that it's coming, is it inside the frame, this canvas?
Yes, it is inside the iframe. This one, yes.
So no.
This one iframe name is called.
This one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so iframe. What is this frame name one? No?
Yes, that was name one.
Driver dot switch to dot frame.
One.
Not up. Eclipse.
Yes.
It's working, right?
Yes.
Check for the sign in. All the text may not be printed in the console. Some will be printed. Using this, you can do a validation. Contains, you can do. Contains these text, you try it. It will work. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will solve most of the problem.
So that was because of it was not getting inside the iframe and it was not
So
capturing the contents.
when I focus on that particular element, when I focus it, when I inspect it, it will get into that frame. Okay. So that's why I was getting it the second time. First time it was not coming. So I switch into the frame. That is fine. You can learn by practice, not an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome. Hope this will solve most of the problem, right? All the validations you can move on.
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Now we'll work on Jenkins. Jenkins, I'll show you how to do it. Maybe you can try it later. Okay. So if possible, you can try with me. So JavaScript is clear, right? How to get the value from the JavaScript, how to scroll. Okay, how to click using the web element, how to read the value from the script. Okay, so now I'll give you a link where to learn for JavaScript. You can use W3 skill to work on. Okay, now what I do is I'll just make changes to this project. In this WebDriver project, I'll just make some changes. I'll change some, reduce the line of code. Okay, listen here, I'll push it to the, so once I make changes, use all the code pass, final, commit and push, or already existing code also, it's fine. 0017@gmail.com. BALAG. I'm trying to push the code. Once everything is done, it will give me the pushed and then the URL. Okay, let me go to this URL. I already have the updated code. Okay, so how many commits I have done till now? All the commits detail will be here. Final, right now I gave final commit 29 seconds ago. Okay, so right now still we are dealing with one branch only. If you want to create one more branch, you can directly right click on the project, go to team, and then push branch is there. No, here you can click on it, you can change or you can write a new branch and you can give preview. It will create one more branch and it will move on. same set of code will be maintained in that branch. Okay, now over here I have the project. Now whenever I make changes to this Git, I want to build this project. Okay, that is your continuous integration. To do that, we need a Jenkins. Some Jenkins should be running in some places. So either it will be running in server or it will be running in local system. You listen here, you can try that Jenkins later. Okay, because CI till Git it is very important. You need to practice. Continuous integration, if your project is using, then you will come to know easily. It's not a difficult task. You just want to follow my steps. What I'll do is, okay, under Jenkins, see what I'm planning to do is, in our system, I don't have any Jenkins server running. If there is any Jenkins server running, they will give you the URL. You get the URL, you navigate to the URL, they will give you username and password. Okay, using that username and password, I need to log in, then I have to upload my project. Only thing is you need to know how to upload the project, how to give the maven command. That's it. Okay, these two only you need to know. Now, what I am planning to do is I'm going to run the Jenkins server in my local machine. Okay, so this is your final part, continuous integration after Git Jenkins. Okay, this will take just 30 minutes to complete. Already we have the concepts. Okay, first I'll start the server, Jenkins server in my local machine. In my local machine, you don't run it in local machine. Understand that. For you, it will be inside the someone will give you some IT team will give you the Jenkins details. Okay, in your case, see once you come to this jenkins.com, under documentation you can see getting started. I'll give you this link. In this link only you will have the Jenkins to run it in the local. I'm going to run the Jenkins in my local machine. Understand that. Mostly when it comes to corporate environment, some server Jenkins will be running. You'll get the URL, username, password. That's what you'll do. In my case, I'm going to download the Jenkins. We're able to access this link. Or listen, once I done, you can do it later. Just listen, I'll just complete in 30 minutes. At the same step you follow, it will be easy only. It's not a difficult task. First, I need to download this Jenkins. After this is to set up the Jenkins in my local system. After downloading the Jenkins, I need to start the Jenkins. Opening the command prompt, I need to give this command. Java-jar jenkins.war file --port 8080. I will start inside this port. Once Jenkins is downloaded, already have the Jenkins. It takes some time to download. Let me go into that folder. See, I already have the Jenkins, which recently I haven't downloaded only. So inside this folder, I have the Jenkins. So I need to start the server. Let it get download. I need to start the server. Okay, I downloaded this Jenkins. It will give you a jenkins.war file. In order to start the server, you need this jenkins.war file. So java-jar command jenkins.war, that file, and then the port detail I need to give. So over here, I need to start the command prompt. Here, after downloading, wherever your Jenkins war is there, open the command prompt, cmd, enter. It will open the command prompt with that path. D software Selenium installation. Okay. In this particular path, I need to start the server. To start the server, commands will be given by the team only to run it locally. I'm telling it multiple times. In your case, you will not trigger the Jenkins. Jenkins will be running somewhere. You just get the URL. Finally, you will get the URL like this. In your case, in my case, I'm triggering the Jenkins. After triggering the Jenkins in the command prompt, I'll minimize this command prompt. It will be running. I'll just open a new URL with this localhost 8080. This will start my Jenkins. Okay, it takes some time. See, starting Jenkins. This will take some time. Then it will give you the login credential. in your case it will give you first time when you start the Jenkins in your local system. It will give you some folder detail. Inside that folder detail there will be one key. Just copy that, paste that key. This is how you have to start the Jenkins in my local system. And in your environment you will get a direct URL. Jenkins will be running in some machine always. We have done all the setup for Maven project under the command under the environment variable. Remember that m2 underscore home, Maven underscore home, and then Java underscore home, bin folder of JDK, bin folder of MVN. All this you need to set it up in that server machine. Okay. Now Jenkins is started. It takes some time. After some time, you will get this sign in option. You can create an account once you start. First time it will give you the detail of authentication ID that you give. Once you what you get in your environment is one URL. Once you get the URL, you will have the username, password, sign into the Jenkins. From here only you need to start learning Jenkins. Okay. So now, okay, so once you get the Jenkins, first you need to know, okay, what is this project? It's a, what project is it? It's a Java project or Maven project? This one. So
Maven.
it's a Maven project. Okay, so you have to remember that you need to set the Jenkins to support Maven project. Got it? You need to make the Jenkins to support Java project and Maven project. If Jenkins is already working in your system, which means already multiple project is using the Jenkins, means you don't want to do anything because they would have done all the setup. Okay. So once you log into the Jenkins, once they give you URL and credential, once you log into the Jenkins, you can see lots of projects will be running like this. Okay, so under this there will be manage Jenkins. Under this there will be manage Jenkins. This you need, sometimes you will not have access. You have to raise the request and you need to do it. Most of the time the IT team will be configuring this manage Jenkins. Sometime only we will have access. In my local machine I have access. That's it. Inside this I have to set something. Okay, I'll tell you what are the things you need to set. Under global tool configuration, okay, so if you scroll down under global tool configuration, manage Jenkins global tool configuration, you can see JDK installation. Here I need to give the JDK path. Okay, what is the JDK path? That is C drive, and then program files, Java, JDK. This path I need to give. I'll copy the path, I'll paste the path. Okay, that path I need to give. JDK path I gave. Next, if you scroll down, Git and all you leave it as it is, not required right now. Not required. Now if you scroll down, you can see Maven installation. One is JDK path you need to give. Click on add, give any name and then give JDK path. And if you scroll down, there will be Maven installation. Click on Maven and you can see it is pointing to some address. I need to give the Maven address. We already downloaded, right? Remember? Maven we already downloaded. Let me change the path, then we change the version. Maven version will use the latest version. This path you need to give. These two setup, save. JDK and Maven. That's it. It's clear? Go to manage Jenkins. Make sure you have Maven and JDK. Under global tool configuration, make sure you have JDK. Make sure you have JDK installation. This path is correct. And then if you scroll down, you can see Maven installation. Click on that. You can see Maven path. Is that clear for you? Save and apply. It's clear for you?
Yes.
Now, once you're done with that, go to new item. We'll map the project. Now, I want to do this scenario. Okay, there will be two scenarios. One is periodically you want to run every day morning 8 a.m. I want to run the project and check. or every day morning 4 a.m. I want to run that and check the output. That is one configuration you do. Or whenever there is a change in the Jenkins Git, I want to run it. Whenever I change the code here, instead of instead of Firefox, if I change it to Chrome, I want that default to run the XML right here. Okay, whenever I change this, any part of a code, whenever you change it in the Git, immediately I want the Jenkins to trigger. So that's how I need to configure. For that, what you need to do is first go to new item. Inside the new item, you can select freestyle project. So first log into the Jenkins, go to manage Jenkins, global tool configuration, set JDK and Maven, two things. Okay. Log into Jenkins. And then okay, JDK and Maven under manage Jenkins, and then global tool configuration. Now after that, create new item. Click new item. Once you click new item, it will ask for the project name. Just give any project name. I'll just give Magento automation HCL. Okay, freestyle project, any name you can give, and click on OK. Freestyle project and click on OK. So now once you give the project name and click on OK, it will ask you the detail, where to pick the project, all the description detail. It will ask you have to configure one by one. You need to mention the general and then source code management, which is nothing but Git, and build trigger, build environment, build post will if there is any action. Okay, we'll do a simple thing. I'm just going to configure whenever there is a change in the Git, I want this to be triggered. It will build and give you an output. Okay, now under general, you can see it's a GitHub project. Check on GitHub project. It will ask for project URL. This is the project URL. Clone or download, the URL will be here. Click this icon, it will copy the URL. Come here, paste it. Clear? Under general, give the GitHub URL. Clear for you? First thing. And if you scroll down, it will ask for source code management. That is also Git only. Both are actually Git. It's public open project only, so no need of authentication. Just paste the URL. URL you need to paste two places. Git URL. Once that is done, if you scroll down, no credential, just come out. Once that is done, if you scroll down, you can see build a trigger. Okay, how do you want to build? Build periodically in the sense every 15 minutes it will run, every one day it will run, every 24 hours it will run, something like that. That is build periodically. Whole SCM in the sense whole source code management. Whenever there is a change in the source code, whenever there is a change in this particular Git repository, it will trigger the Git Maven project. Okay, so I want to go for poll SCM. Check that. It's clear for you. Once you click on new item, give the project name, freestyle project, give the Git URL in both the places. After giving the Git URL, build trigger. How do you want to run? Periodically or whenever there is a change? Whenever there is a change, I want to run. Okay. Here you have some set of concept over here, how to make the configuration. We will be giving h by 2. H is nothing but hover, and 4 star we will be giving. Okay. Based on that, it will run. For example, if I give h by 2 4 star, it is going to check the Git every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes it will try to check the Gits. If you see 5:38 is the time, next check will happen at 5:40. Every 2 minutes it will check the Git. Okay, what happen is you will have a Git repository and you will have Jenkins. Okay, from the Git repository, Jenkins will take the project and keep it in the Jenkins local also. Jenkins will also hold the project. Okay, every 2 minutes it will compare the Jenkins project, whatever the project we have pushed to Git, right? From the Git it will copy and make a copy inside Jenkins. Whatever the project inside Jenkins and Git, it will compare every 2 minutes. When there is a change, it will get the new Git project and it will start building it. It's clear? First time what will happen is it will make a copy of the project in the Git. In the Jenkins also you will have one copy of the project. This next both the project will be compared every 2 minutes. H by 2 means in the hour that 2 minutes. Okay, to know more about this you can give this question mark and you can start working on that. You can go for this H by 2, H by 15, that you can do it. Okay, so H by 2
What
4
is
star.
that 4 stars denote psychology?
That is
After
the
H by 2.
that is a coding only. So the syntax itself, H by 2 is what you need to mention. Okay, so
Because
you
we have
can
another concept called scheduler also, right? Here,
another.
concept like scheduler here. From Jenkins, we can use scheduler.
You can use scheduler. You can instead of scheduler, you can go for build periodically. See, build
Okay.
periodically in the sense here also I'll be using this H by 2. If we
Hmm.
give it wrong, it will show you one thing here. Not count. Okay.
Okay.
So build periodically in the sense like scheduler. Every 2 minutes it will run the project.
Okay.
Okay, that is build periodically. Whole SEM is whenever there is a change, I want to run. So 4 star is like a syntax only, but this is very important. H by 2 in the hour by 2. That is every 2 minutes. When I give H by 15, it will be every 15 minutes. Okay, that is a separate concept will be listed over here. Let me put H by 15. But H by 15 will be too long. See here, 530 to 547. So every 15 minutes it will check the GitHub. When there is a change, it will trigger. That is poll SEM. What is build periodically? Every 15 minutes it will trigger. That is a concept. 15 minutes will be too long. I'll just go for H by 2. Okay. Now let me scroll down. This is it clear for you? This is the build trigger. How do you want to set this NuGet package? All this are for .NET. Okay, using script also you can do it. You have task manager, task scheduler, right? So that is something like build periodically. So under this, you can first you open a new item, then put the project name, then freestyle project. Select the freestyle project name. Click on next. It will ask for the GitHub. In your case, you will have a authentication. In your case, authentication will be there. You have to add that because you will have a secured Git repository. Under the build, based on your project, how do you want? You just configure this build. Now below that, okay, we need to give build environment spine, build step. Okay, what is the plan on build? Okay, so under build, you should be able to get the Maven also. Invoke top level Maven targets. I can invoke a Gradle. I can invoke a build Visual Studio project, which is C#. If you have a batch command, you can use that batch command also. You can run the batch command also. Got it? You have an exe, auto IT exe is there, no? You can just give the txe over here in the batch command. You can just give the txe run. It will start the txe detail. If you give, it will run. That is the batch command. So you can use that Windows batch command. Otherwise, based on the project, ours is Maven project, right? Invoke top level Maven project. And under the global tool configuration, we have done this, right? Maven, that will be selected by default. Goal, we already know about goal, right? What goal we regularly trying on?
Clean
Goal,
compile test.
yeah, that goal, whatever the goal you want, you can mention that. We always go for clean, compile and test. Every time you take from the Git, clean the target folder, compile it, then test it. Okay, post build, if you want any mail, post build, if you want any email, you can mention the email notification. Okay, to set the email notification, you have to make sure that to set the email notification, you need to set the SMTP and all that. I'll tell you where to set. Once that is done, you can click on save and apply. Now, if you see here, what I've done is I've done simple Jenkins. I ran the Jenkins. I mapped the GitHub project. I gave every 2 seconds check the GitHub. When there is a change in the project, start the build. While building it, it's a Maven project. Use clean compile test. Save it. Once you save it, your project will be listed over here in the Jenkins itself. Okay, in the main Jenkins, your project will be listed. Now, if you see here, this is a workspace. Right now, first time workspace is empty. Okay, workspace in the sense project. Every 2 seconds, every 2 minutes, it will check the project. Now, workspace, this is empty, but GitHub is having the project, right? After 2 minutes, it will start building automatically. If you see here, it will start building the project automatically. Jenkins, I'm just giving you an introduction, just 30 to 30% or 40% only. But this is what you'll do regularly. Every configuration will be done in the corporate environment. If you're doing from the scratch, then you have to put some. This is enough actually to work on. See here, automatically it starts after 2 minutes. Once you click on this, you can go for console and you can go for console output and you can see what's happening. Okay, parameter started SCM. Let me build it on. You can directly build also. Build now. You can do it. Some problem with the Git. Let me check the configuration. Error cloning option. Okay, Git. I just map it. Okay, Git problem. So to clone the command I've just removed that manage Jenkins. The global tool configuration git command, it's not picking up from the system. Let me add it manually. Git exe path to git executable. Pin. See, under here it will your project will be listed. You can search for the project, go into the project, build it. Let me check what happened, otherwise we'll configure it one more time. It's already mapped with the system variable, still it is not able to find it. Yeah, it's I just mapped it manually. So 3 setup you do, Maven you map it, and then you map the JDK, and then Git also you map it. It has to pick from the already configured it multiple times. So yesterday I think I downloaded the latest version, change the path. Okay. See it now I triggered manually. So let it run. Actually, let me close the browser. I triggered it manually. Okay. So did you notice the error? Git.exe was not found. So I just mapped the Git inside the global tool configuration. So whatever your project dealing with, that you need to configure under the global tool configurations. Already drivers, everything is inside the project. You can see this build happens beside it manually. So it will launch the browser, it will run all the operation. Let me close the browser. Let it be failure. See, on Chrome is triggered, the Firefox is triggered. It's because in the test.ng XML, I think it started with Firefox, then it is Chrome. Okay, so let me close this. Jenkins. Don't close this command prompt for the time being, and two registration processes there. Let me close this. So Jenkins, I did it manually. It will give you the build result over here. Now every 2 seconds it will go and check. 1 second, let me stop other build also. Yeah, stop, put an end. Now every 2 seconds it will go and check for the Git. Okay, now listen here. Right now, if you see inside the workspace, right, you will have the project detail inside the Jenkins also. Now this and this will be keep on comparing for every 2 minutes. Now when there is a change in this code in this Git, immediately let me edit it directly over here. If you see, I can edit it in the XML and I can push it also. Right now in the inside this the XML is first is Firefox, next is Chrome. Okay, let me change that, or let me change the first one into IE. Okay, and after I change, I'll just push the code into the Git. Jenkins will be keep on running. I will not disturb the Jenkins. Okay, I'll go to team and I'll just go to commit. Once I go for commit, it will go to the add stage and then give the commit. I change in XML and then commit and push. It will ask for the credential, give the credential. Now, once it is successfully pushed, you can modify the code directly in the Git also, but we don't do that. In rare case, we'll do it. Mostly when it comes to XML and all, you can do it from the Git also directly. I move the code. Okay. Now let me refresh this XML. It should show me the latest value, IE. Okay. Now here, every 2 minutes, it will go and check. Now it will find there is a change in the code, or the code what is present here and then the code what is present over here. If there is a change in the code, it will start the build. See, automatically the build is started without giving build on. So every 2 minutes it will check and it will check for the GitHub code, source code management, and whenever there is a change, it will start the build. That's how I configured it. Okay, it will start triggering the IE now, because first XML was first class was using IE, so it will try to launch Internet Explorer. It's clear. Now, if I go and change it in the Git directly also, it will start triggering. So that's how we will be maintaining the project. So once you configure all this cycle properly, hereafter you will be concentrating on the automation. Once you've done the automation, the local, you will move to Git. In the build daily, it will run, or every periodically it will run, and it will give you the reports. Inside that Jenkins also, you will have that report, emailable report. Target folder, it will be present. It's clear for you. See, from the beginning, we have set up the machine. Remember that directly you can't run it in the Jenkins. From the beginning, we set up the machine. We installed Eclipse, we installed JDK. Okay, and periodically I mapped it everything into the environment variable and path variable. If you notice, MVN we configured in the command prompt. Then only I went into the Jenkins. So these configuration and all you need to do. Directly you cannot install Jenkins. Directly you can't run it. It's clear for you? Any doubts in this? Okay, Jenkins, Git, all these are additional topics which I've included actually. So earlier the portion was still the framework only. Jenkins, Git, and then the auto IT, all these are additional topics which we have covered today. And the final topic is Selenium Grid. Let me give you an overview on Selenium Grid also. So is it fine? Any doubts in Git and Jenkins?
No.
You try to configure in your local, if your local system, try to do it. It will be easy only. So you start the Jenkins locally and then you try to configure it. If you want to stop it, see right now what will happen is under this, whatever the project is there, okay, all is going to have some build periodically. Whenever I go and change the GitHub repository of this particular project, it will start building it, because that's how mostly I will be configuring this project. Okay, so these in your project, in your system also, you can see lots of project in your Jenkins. If you are Jenkins, if you are working in Jenkins, you can see lots of project. Multiple team will be using same Jenkins, same server. So what happened is most of the configuration what you required for you will be already configured under this. Okay. For mail, you can go to configure global security. Under this, you will have SMTP. Once again, SMTP will also be configured in your case. In your case, the company SMTP, the project, that SMTP will be there. Okay. Configure system, global tool configuration, configure system, and then manage plugin. These three part only you have to check, and most of the case you will not have access also. Only people from higher end will be doing. See, email notification, I already set up the SMTP server. for my mail ID, I've already set it up. Okay, your mail ID SMTP, you have to set it, then only it will work. Okay, this SMTP gmail.com, your mail ID and password, you have to approve it, then you have to give the same port, same thing, UFD8. Okay, once you give on some post bill, you can drop a mail. Okay, any doubts in this, Jenkins? Fine, let me move into grid. See, grid concept is going to be simple. For that, we need multiple machines. Since we don't have multiple machines, I'll just show you in my machine itself. Okay, any doubts till this?
No,
See,
but
if I edit the XML and if I made changes to CH over here, and a commit will happen actually. So commit changes, some message you need to give CH or something. I'll commit changes. Now once I made a change over here, our project is there now, HCL. So that automatically a build will happen after 2 seconds, because we have made some changes to the project. So under this, automatically every 2 minutes it will check. While checking, if it is not updated with this workspace and Git, it will start building it after moving the code. Okay, that will be the configuration. So now, in order to work with Git, you should know about the hub and node concept, which I explained in the beginning itself, a basic idea about hub and node. So what you need to do is you will be creating a hub, you will be creating a node, and then you will have two URL. Okay, so one is hub URL that you will be sharing to the node machines. Once the node machine is registered, you will get the node URL. That node URL, I need to take it to the project, I need to set up. Okay, in the Selenium Grid, let me show it in the main method, then we can add it to the framework. It will take just 15 minutes. We'll close by 6:15. Meanwhile, do you have any doubts in any concepts? See, it got triggered with Chrome. I need to stop the Jenkins, otherwise whenever I change the Git, it will start running it. Do you have any doubts till now? Any concepts, anything you have a doubts? Any other project query you have? All of you, it's clear for you till this? In order to
Yes.
trigger, Selenium Grid is basically going to use the WebDriver script. Okay, already we have written the WebDriver script. Instead of creating the object a new Chrome driver, we will be using the remote WebDriver. So we use Selenium Grid to run it in the multiple machines. That is the reason. Okay, we will be, instead of creating an object to new Chrome driver, we will be using the remote WebDriver code. Remote WebDriver class driver equal to new remote WebDriver, and it will ask for the URL over here, URL and capabilities. Okay, so those two things I need to set it up. Remote WebDriver will ask for URL and capabilities. Okay, inside the capability, URL is nothing but the remote machine. New URL, that is the remote machine address, and this is nothing but the capability. Okay, capability, which browser you want to launch. That browser detail I need to set it up. Okay, desired capability CAP equal to new desired capabilities, and you can set the browser name, browser name, set browser. You can set the browser name as browser type dot Chrome. Okay, you can set the browser name as Chrome. Capabilities, That capability you need to pass over here. Remaining code will be same like Selenium code. The browser launch, navigation, that code, whatever the code you have already written, same code you can copy paste it. This is how your code will be looking like. Okay, we have to create one more if condition in our system, and instead of in the top, instead of WebDriver, we will be giving the remote WebDriver. Throughout your code, you will be using remote WebDriver. Now remote WebDriver, this will be the node URL. Okay, the child machine, the machine which you want to run, the node machine address, port detail you need to give over here. Capability will be giving in multiple ways. You can give a cap.set capability, and then you can give the name as well as like a capability type. You can see this capability type dot browser name. They will give browser name as Chrome or Firefox, something like that. Browser type Chrome, Firefox, Edge, what you want to run. Okay, and that capability will be passed over here. So this will be the line you have to change. Remaining everything will be the same. This will be the node URL. Okay, to trigger the node URL, okay, listen here. To trigger the node URL, what and all we need is to get the node URL. First, you need to establish the connection between hub and node. So we need to understand the concept of hub and node. First, I need one machine for hub, another machine for node. Right now, I don't have two different machines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider my machine as a hub and my machine as a node. Clear? So basically we need two machines. One is hub machine, the other one is node machine. Both should be connected in a LAN network. Okay. Since I don't have a two machine, I'll just make my machine as a hub and my machine as a node. It's clear for you? Is it clear or not? Hub and node concept.
Yeah, Baba.
Okay. So instead of WebDriver driver, new Chrome driver, which will launch the browser in my local machine, I need to launch in the some other machine basically. Which machine we will be contacting that machine using the IP address, using HTTP protocol, IP address and port detail. This will be the node URL. So I need to get the node URL first. Node URL I need to pass, and then remaining code will be same. So to get the node URL, first of all, first I need to make my machine as a hub. Let me open the command prompt. Okay, in order to make my machine as a hub, you can go to the Selenium dev. You will have all the details inside that. Under documentation, you can see Selenium Grid. Under that, you will have the commands. Basically, I'll give you the command. Under the grid, you will have all the commands. See, this will be the picture. So hub, and then I will be connecting to the nodes. Okay. So this will be the command for hub machine. Selenium-jar, Selenium server standalone jar. I already downloaded the jar. Remember that? We already downloaded the jar, right? That jar -role equal to hub. I need to run this in command prompt to start the hub. Just listen here. I'll give you the code. You need to know two command. One is the hub command, the other one is node command. Basically, you can pass the URL from the XML document. See, this Jenkins is clear for you, right? So Jenkins, what we are doing is commit the code to Git. Whenever there is a commit in the Git, it will automatically build the Maven commands. And finally, reports will be shown inside the target folder. Okay, here for you this particular part, this picture for Jenkins. Now coming back to Git, okay, this will be the command. So these two commands is what you need to execute. It's not there. I'll give you this command. Just see here. This is the command for starting the hub. Okay, so Java-jar Selenium server standalone. We will be using the latest version, which is 3.141.59. That particular jar. This is the jar detail, and Java-jar. That's a command. -role equal to hub. This will be the command for starting the grid. Okay, let me go to the C drive, and inside that Selenium only I have the jar. So let me open the command prompt from this particular part. So after opening the command prompt, I'll be giving Java-jar Selenium server standalone jar. So which is nothing but 3.141.59. That's what I have. Okay, here after this -role hub. Okay, this will launch the hub. This will make my mission as a hub. You can see over here, Selenium Grid is up and running. Okay, so client node should register to nodes. Okay, I need to share this detail to the node missions. Okay, client means we are the clients, basically the hub missions or the our client. They want to see the running, whatever is getting running, they want to see. In that case, they will be using this address. Leave about client, don't get confused. Just keep on a note on node. Node should register to this address, which means we have to share this address to the node mission. Is that clear for you? Node mission will be your neighbor mission or your colleague mission, or it will be in some other places. That mission, in that mission, you have to make that mission as a node by using this URL. Clear with this? This is my IP address and then the port detail. By default, it will launch with 4444. It's clear for you? Now hub is done. Using this URL, hub is done. Once I register the hub, okay, I got the hub URL. This is the okay. This is the hub URL. Got it? Now using this hub URL, I need to share it to the node mission. As I told you, I'm going to the node. I'm going to create one more command prompt for the node mission. Okay, let me close this. Let me create one more command prompt. In this, I'm going to start the node. Okay, for node, this will be the command. Just listen here. The command is simple. Java-jar Selenium server standalone jar. In that also you need jar -role node -hub, the URL which we got right now. Clear for you? The command in the node mission, what I need to do in the hub mission -hub. That's it. In the node mission -role node, where are we going to register -hub, that hub mission URL. Is that clear for you? Node and hub. Is this clear or it's confusing?
No, it's clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so I just want to give this command. So we are going to run it in the node machine, right? In the node machine, you will have the problem with the drivers, correct? Where is your Chrome driver? Where will be your web exe support files, IE driver, Gecko driver? Okay, for that only I have designed this command. This command you can use it, given by the Selenium team only. Java -d webdriver.chrome.driver. Where is your driver? That driver detail, and then -d webdriver gecko driver equal to where is your gecko driver detail, that detail, and your jar detail, and then the new IP address, the hub IP address. This command is what you need to run. So already let me map the exe properly. Updated path. Okay. This command, let me take it and run it in the command prompt. This will trigger the prison trader. Close this and go to this particular C drive. We need jar detail. Click command, paste it. Okay, so this is your node. Once you register the node, see here, once I register the node, one hub, one node I have done right now. One hub and then one node. Okay, this is your hub and this is your node. Once I register the node, you can see in the hub machine this particular line. Registered a node, are you getting one new URL? This URL, this is your node URL. Is that clear for you? Registered a node. You can check the timing just 1 minute ago. This is your node URL. Now I need to take this URL. Basically, this is going to be in different machine. This is going to be in a different machine. Okay. So now I need to take this URL. Okay, go to the Eclipse and here I need to paste the URL /wd/hub. In the latest version, in iron and all, in Selenium 4, we don't want to give the /wd hub, and we have 3 different concepts in Selenium 4. We will be getting to know about that. Okay, this is your node machine. Now it will run it in the node machine. Okay, like this, it will run it in the node machine. So now, how to check from the client machine? Basically, it is not running in my local machine. It is running in the node machine. If you see, okay, all the outputs, all will be listed in the grid here only. It's clear or not? This particular part. See, registered a node, right? Client should see head. Okay, this is your client environment, which means the hub environment. I will be copying the URL, that is your client. Here I will check what is happening in my particular machine. So hyphen input grid hyphen grid slash console. Okay, see, this is the path which I will be checking. This is nothing but hub URL. In the Word document, if you see, this is the hub URL. Here I will be checking. So node URL is what I mentioned in the Eclipse. Node is registered at, this is your node URL. Is that clear for you? Two things I have done right now. Only one hub I created and one node I created. So node 1 URL, node 1 URL. Okay, I can run this in node 1 URL. Node 2 URL I can register. I'll do it. Okay. Now if you see here in the over here in the Chrome, you can see here what is exactly happened in the node machine. You can open this URL and you can check it. This will be given by the, see, take screenshot, and you can take screenshot with the current screen. This is totally in a new, in the hub machine or client environment. Clear with this? We are not closing it. Now only one node machine is there. Okay. If I want to register one more node machine, okay, I'll be opening one more command prompt. In the command prompt, I'll give this detail. So this detail already we configured for the node machine, right? I need to go to C drive for Selenium folder. CD says inside that folder only I have the jar. So I'll be pasting it. This is my second node. So once I register the second node, if I go and check it in the hub, you can see registered a node. This is my second node second URL. Okay, in the Chrome, you can see two URL is triggered, two node mission. So these URL I'll be using in Eclipse to trigger. Okay, this is mission 1, mission 2, node 1, node 2. Okay, similarly I can share to all the machines which I want to connect, and I can trigger. See, maximum you can trigger 5 Firefox, 5 Chrome, and 1 Internet Explorer in this current 3.141.59 in one machine. Is that clear for you? Now what I need to do is this URL, right? This URL, this is your node 1 URL, this is node 2 URL. How can we configure this in framework? In framework, I'll be using this one. This test I want to run it in the, let me give the parameter, and then I'll give the key as this one. This one I want to run it here /wd/hub. Okay, and then you can configure in this way. Second test method I want to run it in test.ng XML only. You have to do that. So create a parameter over here, and that's the parameter. So this is also added topic only. So inside this node key and then second machine URL. Clear for you? So you can maintain both the test login also you can maintain in this one, and then you can maintain register also in this one. So both login and register will be running in both the machine. Okay, you know how to configure this node into the framework, right? Is it clear? First you have to establish a hub and then connect the node using the command which I told you. This command, this will be running in the hub machine. This command will be running in the node machine. Once you've done that, in the hub machine, you will be getting the URL. In the hub machine, you will be getting the detail. Node is registered at, all details you'll be getting. See, 2 times you'll be getting registered or not, registered or not. Use this URL, and go to your parameter and set the URL node. Okay. Now, what we need to do is in the framework, we already know where the URL is going to come. That is going to come over here. Here you add one more parameter, node, comma, string, node. Okay. Now inside this, we just want to write a logic in this if condition. If node is not null, use remote. Here, if node not equal to null. Okay, when node is not equal to null, I want to trigger a remote web driver. So driver equal to new remote web driver. Yeah, I will be passing that particular node new URL node, comma, the capability which I already designed. Browser name you can set it using the ch. You can write the logic over here. Okay, right now I'll just configure with browser only. So that capability I'll be setting. Clear for you? Else you run the second part. This is how we will be configuring. Is it clear for you? Right now only Chrome I have configured for the node. You just want to write an if condition here. It's clear for you? This particular part, how to configure multiple node machines and then run. Already we have designed the framework in the way that you just want to add 1 or 2 lines of code, it will fix all the problem. Okay, so now if I run the XML, it will trigger it. This one will be first test tag will be running in this node machine. Second test tag will be running in this node machine. Okay, I want to run both the thing in parallelly. How is that? Anyone knows how to run these two in parallel? In order to run both the test tag parallelly, in the suite level, just give parallel equal to test. That's how we will be running it parallelly. So I'll be configuring the multiple test tag, test if you give, I'll be configuring the multiple test tag with the node machine URL. Clear for you? Any doubts in this? See here, I've just run the code. Both the browser will be running parallelly. Without any issues, it will be running parallel. Okay, so this is how we have to configure the node. Actually, these two will be running in a different node machines. To see the output from the client environment, we can launch this particular URL and you can check over here. This this URL, if you open, you will get the detail under the console. Currently, what is happening? To Chrome triggered, and then if you want to take the screenshot, you can try to take the screenshot. At the end of the code, it will take the screenshot. It's clear for you? Any doubts in this? So you need to practice this, then only you will get it. You got the concept right, all of you?
Yes,
This
Balaji.
concept is clear? Okay, so we can close the session. So you people know how to take screenshot in Selenium?
Oh, Balaji.
Nova. Okay, fine. Just 1 minute. Let me add that code over here. See, taking the screenshot is a simple code only. Let me run it over here. HCL HDFC. See, as I told you, once we launch the code, I'll take the screenshot and I'll save the screenshot that you put it into the after method. After method annotations will be called whenever the test method run. Okay, so I take screenshot. As I told you, we don't have the code, so take screenshot is the, see, I need to call the method driver.get screenshot. That method is not there in WebDriver, but it is there in Chrome driver. If you see driver.get screenshot method, output type, this will be the syntax, output type dot file. I want it as a file. So get screenshot will give you the file object. So I'll be giving file. Okay, this comes from java.io. This will be the screenshot. Now, as I told you, this particular part is not going to be present in WebDriver. Get screenshot. So similarly, what I did for JavaScript, same thing I have to do it for screenshot also. Driver, and I will be typecasting that to take screenshot, and I will be using ps.get screenshot. Definition will be taken from the browser part. Now this screenshot you need to save. Dot, you can use the method rename to new file, the file name. So file name, let me give it as error.png. You know where it will get saved when I run this code? This is the screenshot code. You know where it will get saved? It will save it in the project home directory when you don't give any path. Once you refresh the project, you can see that png error.png. Okay, so every time what will happen is, every time you run the code, it will update the, every time you change the code, it will update the screenshot. So every time you run the code, it will change the screenshot. Okay, the error.png, right? It will keep on refresh the project. Still loading up. the name of the error message, right? Error.png. So every time it will try to upgrade the same file name. If there is already a file name, it will just delete that old file and create a new file. Okay, so what happens is whenever you take the screenshot, you will be appending with date time. You know how to get date time in Java? I'll quickly tell you. This is the code. This will create the screenshot every time. To get the date time in Java, you will be using the class date. These date, and this will give you the current date. Comes from java.util, and this will give you the current date. System.out.println date.toString. I'll convert it. Now if you see here date time, if you get, you will be getting colon. Okay, so when you try to save the file with colon, let me save this once again. When you try to save it with the colon, it will not allow. Okay, colon will not be allowed. So what I'm going to do is every time I save the screenshot, I'll give the date time. That code I'll share you. It's one time code only. Every time I give the screenshot, I will save it with colon. But if I give it a colon, it will throw error. So I will save it with the date without colon. So colon I'll be replacing with hyphen. Okay. So dot replace I'll be using wherever it is colon. I'll replace with. I'll just replace with hyphen. So when I run this, you can see still there will be. Yeah. So this file name will work in all the places. File name should be supported file name. Okay, so wherever it is colon, I've just changed it to hyphen. So now using this, I will be saving the file. So date.toString. Okay. String file name, string date. Let me give date equal to this particular date. Okay, so date object is required, and then the this will give you the date. This part will give you the screenshot. This part will give you the date. And while saving the screenshot, I will save it in the screenshot folder. Let me create the screenshot folder. Inside the screenshot folder, I want to save this with the name of, okay, any names with the name of screenshot with date. So how to append date? So you have to split the string and you have to give that date over here. So underscore this. So now when I run the program, this will create a folder screenshot, and then it will save the screenshot. Now we just want to move this code into the, after loading the page, it will try to take the screenshot. There is no folder called screenshot, so it will create the folder screenshot inside the project. Create screenshot, correct only. Yeah, so inside this, it will save the screenshot. So create the folder and keep it. It's not creating nowadays. Okay, this code, you take it every time you run the code, it will take the screenshot with date and time. So this code I will take it and I will put it into the wrapper class before closing the browser. Okay, is it clear for you? Every time I take the screenshot, I will save it with the current date time. After method will be running on finishing each and every method, whether it is passed or failed, it will run. So it will always save the screenshot. Okay, so this is how a framework is designed. Whatever we discussed is a hybrid framework, end-to-end hybrid framework configured with the grid. Also, we have done. So most of the session will not be included with grid. Okay, we designed a framework with grid also, and completely we have done a project. What happens in the project end to end in 5 days? It's very short time, but still we have done the end to end operation of your project. Okay, and project query, I hope I helped you. We have done that. That actually will help you, I guess, in solving your issues in that particular frame. Okay, so any other doubts you have? It's clear, all the topics what we discussed. We have at the end we have rushed, always it happens. So it's clear for you, right? Till before lunch, whatever we discussed, that I gave you time for practice, that you should not have any doubts. After lunch you need practice. It will be a short time for learning everything, but hope you will have a idea about all these things: JavaScript, robot framework, auto IT, and JavaScript. I hope you will be able to do that. And grid concept, and then Jenkins, you try to practice. You can do it. You have watched the steps, right? I'll share you this framework. This framework, you can keep it as a reference. First, we'll give the Git preference. If grid is not there, we'll launch with the else part. Okay. Hope XML is clear, and how to run parallelly in XML, that you make a note of it. Okay. And then to run parallelly, we will be giving parallel equal to test. All the test tag will be running parallelly. Okay. Parallel equal to classes means all the class will be running parallel. And there are annotations like before speed, after speed, before test, after test, before class, after class. That will be based on this one. If I create a before speed annotation inside this particular project, only one XML is there. Before running this XML, before suite will be happening. After finishing the entire XML, after suite happening. Before test, after test, between the test tag. Before this test tag, before test, after the test tag, after test will be there. And two times before test, after test will be running. And before class, after class. I explained about before test, after test. We are before method, after method, which we are using in our main project also. Similarly, you have before test, after test. If I give before test means it will be triggered once for the, this will be triggered once for the test tag. Test tag is this one. That is the difference. Got it? Those things I hope I gave the strong base one, so you can easily learn those things. If you see before test, after test, don't get confused. They are triggering one browser for one test tag. That's it. Okay, before class, after class, mostly they don't use because they might get confused between this class and then this class, classes and class. So that is not a problem. Before class, after class and all, you can skip it. Before method, after method, you keep it. Before test, after test, they will be using. Before suite, after suite also, they don't use much. Okay, so we have designed this framework with the end-to-end configuration. Almost everything is done inside the framework. Okay, you will have the grid concept, you will have the Excel data driven, you have page object, page factory is also there. So every concept is there inside this framework. So you know how to design the framework from scratch, right? So in 5 days, I hope you have done best. I've seen 1 or 2 missions, you have done it properly. That's good. You have to start creating the same thing one more time with the demo application. Okay, during the weekend you practice it, and in case of any doubts, you let me know through mail. I'll help you. Okay, so you have any doubts? So if you're clear with the doubts,
Yeah, Balaji.
okay, so we can wind up the session. So today will be the last day, and further to this, if you have any doubts, you can drop me a mail. Okay, I'll be helping you through mail. Okay, in case of any doubts, any issues you face, just drop me a mail with the errors or picture. That is enough. Okay.
Sure, Balaji, we'll do that.
Okay. So we'll close the session. So bye everyone.
Thank you so much, Balaji.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
well,
Balaji.
Balaji, one more.
yes.
Balaji,
Yeah, I'm here.
can you please update this in the drive, Google Drive,
Yeah, I've
the
updated till
projects?
built yesterday. I'll update it today. You can download it from the drive.
Okay.
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 So
And I have queried about videos. He's not yet replied. I will check with him again.
I